I knew this day would come, but somehow it still caught me off guard. Hi, everyone. This is day 15 of the 30-day stay-at-home order. And as you know, you've been with me throughout the first 14 days, and you've seen some different activities that we've done as a family, and some of the emotions that we've gone through, and some of the activities that we've been involved with. If you're just now joining us, you can click this link up here and it takes you to the full set of videos in the series. But today was that day that I guess I knew was coming, but we had been holding off on it for the first 2 weeks. But today, what I'm talking about is this is a day where a little bit of cabin fever set in, and not just we want to get out and do different things. It was more of a little bit of bumping of heads, and I think that most of it rests on my shoulders, because really there's so many different things that happen in the household, and how I respond to it kind of sets the tone for how the family responds to it. And so today there was just a flurry of activities. Second day of the week, where it's a Tuesday, and so we're back at work, we're back at school, and we're past the 2 weeks, and so we're heading into this. And again, as a reminder, the family had been at this for at least a week and a half prior to, because my best gal, the girl and the boy, had gone on a cruise, and so they came back and went straight into self-quarantining. And so we've been at this for a little while, and it's been just fantastic for us so far. We've had a lot of new stuff and interactions that have gone very, very well. We've enjoyed each other's company, and still understanding the severity and the seriousness of the pandemic and the suffering that's going on. We, in fact, have people that we now know that have contracted the virus, and they've either kicked it and have been released from the hospital, or they've passed away. And so it's become very personal to us. So we understand the seriousness of it. But we really went into this with the attitude this was going to be an adventure, and we were going to make the most of it. And we have for the most part. But today, it may be just the day of the week, knowing that we've got several days ahead of us in the work and school. There was a little bit of conflict, and by conflict, I think there wasn't any yelling or screaming or anything like that, but it was more just, get away from me. And I'm the guilty party in this, because the three-legged dog, I'm sitting there working on the computer, and I've got my legs up, and the dog is bright, and maybe I'm assigning too much to him, but he ran underneath my feet and knocked my feet off the footstool 10 times today. Drove me nuts. I'm sitting there working on things. The cat jumps up and has to stick its butt right in my face, and I'm thinking, get away from me. And the kids, the boy was up in his room going to school, and he's only they've got it set up so right now they're doing some intensive assignment and instruction, but it's not very long. So he's in his room doing school for an hour and a half, and then he's ready to do something, but I'm at work, and the girl, she was in her room and doing her homework, and tomorrow I'll have her explain to you what her experience with virtual school is, because she's been doing it for about a year and a half through an established virtual school, and it's different than what she's hearing that her friends are going through right now. But anyway, so she gets done with her schoolwork, and then she goes into her dance. And so I have to move the studio around and set up her dance studio. And it's just, and then the best gal comes down and says, what are your thoughts for dinner? And bless her heart, because in addition to everything else, prior to going into this stay-at-home order, to kickstart my recomposing my body, which means I'm trying to get rid of some fat while I also then build up some lean muscle mass. Sometimes to do that, I will employ keto, and I'm not going to go into that right now, but I went into a keto diet, and that means that I'm eating very low carbs. And so that means donuts are off. That means bread is off. That means potatoes are off. And so those are things that I'm sitting there thinking of, and I've been really good so far about maintaining that. But it's a challenge to have different foods, different meals, when you're very limited on what you can eat. And so tonight, when the best gal said, what are you thinking for dinner? You know what I'm thinking? That I have to eat something different than what you guys are going to want. And so I had no plan. And so that just hit me wrong. And again, I just, it clenched the jaws a little bit, because it certainly wasn't anything on her part. But then, as we were discussing dinner plans, the kids are full of energy. They're full of energy, and they're done with the school part of the day. They're just wanting to let loose with that energy, and I'm done with the work part of the day, and I'm wanting to de-stress. And so those things kind of collided. So this is the day that I was expecting to happen at some point, and here it is. But you know what? These days happen whether you're on this stay-at-home order or not. And so I guess the thing that I see as a positive is I am very in tune with the conflict or the emotions that we're going through today. And in a normal situation, the chaos of everyday life, it may have been hidden in all that. And so today I'm thinking, okay, so how do I deal with this? And there's a lot of different ways. I'm not going to go into how I'm processing or going through any of this. And it's not, again, there's no yelling or screaming going on, but it isn't a excited and everybody loving, hugging, kissing everybody kind of day. So, are you guys doing any of that? I mean, are you guys having any of those challenges? I see, a lot of my friends on the different social media sites that I visit and frequent. There's a lot of fun stuff that goes on, and that's always wonderful. But I understand that sometimes behind the scenes, what we post on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram isn't necessarily real life. And so, bless you if you're going through those challenges and finding ways to deal with that. This is just another day, and we figured out, and even just before I got down here, we started messing around, having fun again. So the storm has passed, but it comes in, and so the reality of life is consistent. And I guess if we're talking about maintaining routines, I guess the conflict of family life is a routine that we met today. You know what? It's fun visiting with you guys. I hope that things are going well with you. I do hope that you are taking this serious, taking care of your family, taking care of yourself, staying well, and I'll see you tomorrow.